Welcome back. Welcome back. As we continue through the workbook for students, yes, we're more than well into the material here. Today, we're talking about lesson 306. Okay. And as we've been going through the workbook, I've been reading the text. I have been called to read that many times over and over again since the course found me in 2013, and since I began teaching the course 5 years later. I can vouch for what many of you may have also experienced, that the 7th or 8th time that you go through the material is vastly different than the first. In fact, the second time is vastly different than the first. I'm still literally reading the same printed material, yet I've changed. I've opened my mind and changed my mind such that the next time that I see the material, it's different. Have you had that experience with the Course in Miracles or with another spiritual text, maybe the Bible, maybe if you're practicing Buddhism, maybe it's a sadhana or another sacred text, something like that, right? It could be the Quran if you're Muslim, right? The 25th time that you go over something is qualitatively different than the first. Why? It's not the material that's changed, but you are different. You're more loving, you're more forgiving, and you've had more experience with the teachings. And hopefully, this part's up to you. Ideally, you've had that much more experience taking these ideas to heart and applying them in your daily life. So there you go. The reason that I want to offer all of that is that as I've been reading the text, I read this morning, just about an hour ago, the very last segment, literally in chapter 31, the very last segment of the text of A Course in Miracles, which is entitled Choose Once Again. Choice. Hey, we've seen this before. And then we see it again at the very tail end of the text, where Jesus invites us to choose once again between the world that we made, the world of illusion, suffering, separation, hell, in other words, and the other alternative that's always open to us, the strength of Christ, ourself with a capital S, who we are. We are invited to choose strength instead of weakness. We're invited to choose everything in place of nothing. That's a fun way of putting it, isn't it? Choose everything in place of nothing. And this ties in perfectly with the workbook idea that we're looking at today, lesson 306, because the idea is the gift of Christ is all I seek today. It's all I seek. The gift of Christ is all I seek today. I choose my own strength yet again. Once again, I choose myself with a capital S. Once again, I choose love. I choose the teachings of the Holy Spirit, the teachings of this course, rather than the ego. We're invited every moment of every day to choose once again. Let the idea and the energy behind lesson 306 guide you. The gift of Christ is all I seek today. Let this be all that you seek today. And Of course, you can go about your daily life in the world. You can feed yourself. You can feed your family. You can feed your dog and cat. You can take a walk. You can go to the gym. You can pay the light bill. You can appear to function normally in the world while you choose the strength of Christ, while you forgive, while you extend love, while you ask Jesus's help when you're perplexed and you feel yourself judging, ask Jesus's help to let go of your judgment. So Jesus, or your guide or guides, the Holy Spirit, angels, right, don't relate to the world of form because we're not a body. So it's not the appropriate use of our energy and effort to ask for something physical to happen. Like, Lord, help me bench press 355 pounds today. I was only at 350 yesterday and I feel like a scumbag and weak, right? For example, Lord, help my neighbor to not throw a party tomorrow night on Friday night and stay up all night hiring a band, which our next door neighbors have done multiple times in the last 2 years. Just saying. So what Jesus and the Holy Spirit respond to are requests of the mind. Help me to be more forgiving. Help me to leave my judgment aside. Help me to lay my judgment aside. Help me to see with the vision of Christ. When you formulate a request this way, the answer for what to do and what to say and to whom and in what measure is given to you automatically. You're getting out of your own way. In Taoism, this is an example of the principle of wei wu wei, which in Chinese means roughly doing, not doing. It's being in the flow and accomplishing everything while you do nothing. All we're asked for is the little willingness that this course wants us to bring to the table, and it implores us to bring this to the table over and over again. So allow the energy behind this idea, the gifts of Christ, right? The vision of Christ, the gift of Christ, love. Love is all I seek today. Let this idea guide you. Let it be all that you seek. And allow your perception of the world to be changed. Allow your perception of yourself to be changed. Allow your perception of every living thing, from your hot, sexy lover and best friend to your worst enemy, all of your brothers and sisters and all other life forms, allow all of that perception to be changed. Accept healing for yourself. Choose the strength of Christ. And we discover when we do this, we've never gone anywhere. This strength, our self, as God created us, has always been there. It has always been who we are, while we've gone off into a world of time and space and suffering and identified with one physical body after another in a supposedly linear succession of this thing that we refer to as time, Why? Because I don't know, we can't think of anything else to call it. While we've wandered off, our self has remained forever unchanged. And as we lay our illusions to the side, our blame, our judgment, as we set the ego aside, we experience truth as it is, simply as it has always been. It's been there for us, with us, as us, while we've wandered in the wilderness. So I invite you, as you practice today, to use this, to feel the beauty and the love of this lesson in your core, right? As deeply as you feel capable of doing it. Do this. Yeah. Let this guide you. Let the gift of Christ be all that you seek today. Choose your own strength once again. And then when you're done, choose once again. And when you do that, get what I'm saying? Perfect. All right, guys. Happy practicing today. We'll see you soon.